Hello and welcome to Living Life Stories. I'm Chris Ramos, professor in the Arts and Entertainment Management program here at Lubin School of Business, Pace University. Today, I have a privilege in having this great conversation about his Living Life Stories. I welcome Jonathan Mathai, BBA undergraduate degree in accounting.
Thank you for having me. My name is Jonathan Mathai. I am a rising sophomore at the New York City campus, and I'm also the financial manager for F14 Entertainment here at Pace.
That's great. And this is your first year, correct?
Yeah.
Wow. So given that, first year in college is always so difficult, right? Trying to find the right college for you. So what led you to Pace University in making that decision 2 years ago, maybe, right?
Yeah. So when I initially started looking for colleges, I was looking towards more of an out of state because I live in Long Island, New York. But after I've gotten letters from Pace and from other universities in New York, it intrigued me. Specifically, Pace intrigued me because of the New York City campus. And once I took a virtual tour of that entire campus, I knew that it was going to be the type of place that I would want to study at and have my career take off from there. From even deciding to go to Pace to now being a rising sophomore, it's the best feeling that I could have.
Cool. Not easy to choose a school when it comes to college because it's an investment. And given that, your first year here at Pace, you have invested to new things that you've done and initiatives. So you mentioned F14 earlier. So talk to me about F14. What is F14 and how did you go about getting involved with those people working in the company?
Sure. So F14 Entertainment is a company that is run by a bunch of Pace students, and it is basically a company that creates Gen Z content for Gen Z. And so initially, our group, the founding members, we did not even know each other. But ever since I moved into Maria's Tower and I got to meet those special individuals, being Ethan and Jacob, we thought of a way to start a company in which we can create what we want. And so Ethan and Jacob initially had talked about this, and I was just sitting in the lounge, and they just said, "Hey, you're an accounting major, right? Maybe you could help us with the financials and stuff." And I said, "Okay." No, not even knowing what I was even going into. But now I'm confident in saying that this is a company that was really worth diving into, because not only did it impact me as an individual, but it impacts the people that are a part of our entertainment company.
That is just wonderful, because what you're doing is basically you're applying yourself, and you are able to get involved with those students, aspiring students as well. So if you're looking at your role within F14, how are your classes being applied as your role within the company?
So I like to balance it, more towards my academics, of course, but I guess handling all of F14 stuff from the business aspect really helps me in terms of my academic. And it also helps with my accounting side, because I get to do all the budgeting and all the stuff that we need for certain projects. Say we're doing a short film and we need to purchase certain things for that set, or do some sort of financial papers or anything. It really helped me understand what's going on. So even from making agreements to sign new artists or new actors and actresses, or just simply talking and socializing, help me improve.
That's a wonderful thing that you're saying, because now we're looking at your freshman. One of the things that you've done this summer is basically an internship with a music company. So talk to me about how you got into that internship and what exactly your role or the job responsibilities that you're doing for the company.
So initially for that internship, I was looking for something more business aspected in terms of what can I do that's towards my major, but also something that I wouldn't get tired of. So when looking for specific internships, I would just look for bookkeeping or anything accounting or finance related. And since I'm also a producer, so
Mm.
having that in my in my holster, I approached some recording studios and I did a couple cold calls and I landed an internship. And basically, my job was to handle anything financial related, meaning cash any checks, help out with budgets, any Excel spreadsheets. And then I got a chance to meet a lot of great musicians, producers, a lot of artists that are like very passionate, and just hearing
Mm.
their stories. And a lot of them surprisingly were business majors, which is crazy. So I think having that experience too was just the best thing for me personally, because I don't think I would be able to talk like this or even be able to have the knowledge that I have right now compared to when I started out in fall semester.
Well, it's a great thing to hear a student who's only in the freshman level applying real life experiences as well as what you're learning in classes, and also being involved in a well-running function student company with the collaboration. So how is the collaboration that you guys have implemented or done this past year because of the COVID, that you have to do things remotely? Is it the remote became part of that, or you also met in person in terms of coming up with ideas?
That was a serious adjustment. So
Mm.
like my freshman year specifically in F14 and in the Lubin School of Business was hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or anything, but
Mm.
I've taken a lot of tough classes, and in terms of F14, making connections was significantly hard. Like our COVID-19 protocols that we had to follow, even to come and congregate with one another. That was a difficult thing to do. But we still had our determination, and we were able to grab a lot of upcoming freshmen from every single school almost. We have people from Dyson, we have people from Lubin. We have a lot of students that are in different types of majors that are pursuing their craft. I think that the more that I um get to collaborate and I get to work and just do as much hard work as I can, uh, I don't think anything can stop me or it can stop anyone. So, yeah.
Well, you sound like a very determined student. And also, one thing that you've mentioned about collaboration, uh, it is part of our everyday life. I mean, in terms of school, sort of your personal life, and then when you start working in real situation, um, and the COVID-19, the pandemic that happened and still is going on today, hardship personally and academically. How did you? What are your coping mechanisms?
So, listening to music and playing piano kind of just clear my mind personally, and I'll be able to as soon as I just do one of those things, I'll be able to work on something peacefully. I do a lot of musical stuff and along with my accounting, which to be frank, it's kind of weird thinking incorporating music in an
Mm.
accounting and finance setting, but when you really get into it, there's no going back.
Well, it's about numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
accounting actually, when I was in college, I both major in accounting and performing arts. So you can tie those two together. So your first year went by so fast, hopefully. And for the incoming student, the incoming freshman, and we're about just a month from now, what would be your advice to them?
I think my advice for the incoming class would be to socialize. Um, we are in a certain point in the year where it's hard to talk to people, and we don't get that type of community anymore. And I think it's all about reaching out. And I think that if you find a friend, or if you have someone that shares a lot of interest with you, talk to them, make connections, make as many friends as you can. They'll help you out.
I totally agree with you. I mean, conversation, it is part of who we are. Uh, like what we're doing right now, living life stories, conversation. And, when it comes to your first year, what would be the takeaway from you moving into your second year?
You would never hear a kid getting so excited for their classes. But the reason why I'm excited is because now I'm diving into more of what my major is on. So I'm taking more of my accounting classes now. And not only academically, but F14 has a lot of stuff. So we have 2 or 3 new artists that we're highlighting, and we're starting to get music on the way. We also have a podcast series. We just have a lot of creative and just fun stuff on the way. And I just can't wait to step on campus and get to work.
Cool. I'm excited. Actually, I'm very excited what you guys are trying, what you have accomplished and you're going to accomplish in the years to come. It's a great business for what I've heard and what I've looked at in your website. It is a good platform for students to run a business. And besides that, what can you tell us about a fun fact about who you are?
Oh, playing. I can play the piano blindfolded.
See, that's a fun fact. How many people can do that besides Mozart?
Like, I'll be able to play like any jazz music like blindfolded, I guess.
Yeah, well, living life for every student is different, right?
Mhm.
What would be one word that you can tell to the freshmen coming to Lubin School of Business that they can hang on to?
Community.
Ah, well
And
done.
the reason I say that is because the Lubin School of Business provides a lot for the students. And whether that be educational support, or just like being able to have like a teacher or professor to talk to regarding anything that's business related or even life related, that community aspect is is what's important. And I think that a lot of people coming into the Lubin School of Business will appreciate and also just love the community. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Jonathan. And thank you for joining me in this wonderful Lubin Life Stories conversation. And also to those people who are watching it, thank you very much. This is Lubin Life Stories. Thank you very much and have a good one.